Hello, everyone, and welcome to Survivor JJC. My name is Colleen.
I'm Jamie.
And I'm Danny. Stop doing your De Niro impression.
Oh, good Lord. You could see when he did that, you could tell that Jeff was like, is this for real? Am I being punked right now?
Yeah.
Like he didn't know what to say. And it seems like fairly obvious. Like, has you never been in an awkward situation, Jeff? Have you never like been to a bar where somebody's like drunkenly think that they're really funny and you're like, like there was not even a pity laugh. It was
If he wouldn't have said De Niro impression, I wouldn't have known what he was doing. Nothing personal, Danny, if you're listening, but it was terrible.
You know, it was okay.
He let it go on for a really uncomfortable amount of time.
Because Jeff didn't stop him.
Because Jeff was like going, what am I doing here? Yeah, the tribe's spoken. Get the hell out of here.
Oh my God, it was so funny.
He was still mad at Lauren for not answering his question.
or trying to figure out how to get Carolyn to be friends with him again.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Take a nap. Take a nap and maybe you'll feel differently.
It was rough. It was a rough night for Jeff.
It was a rough night for Jeff. And an overall, like, kind of wild tribal, but not a wild tribal. Not like a few weeks ago where, you know, it was live, but just everybody was very open and honest. And
well, I think Danny, his arrogance finally caught up to him.
Oh, totally. But you know, Jamie and Lauren totally got played because they voted for Heidi and they didn't do the math to realize, well, if we don't get Carson out, like, you know, we give them the power.
Yep.
Somebody has to be the butt of the joke, I guess. It's going to have to be them this
that
week.
Was so insane. Like, I was actually really nervous too. Also, why did Carolyn vote for Lauren first before voting for Danny? Like, what was she doing? Was she like counting her hands? Like, was she like,
she was like counting the votes.
Maybe she was worried about an idol play.
Well,
That's what she was, yeah.
But I thought it was kind of crazy that I don't know, like she had this plan. She was nervous. I get it. But like just the amount of time and like Jeff, they're like checking their watches. Did anybody notice them? They're like all like, what are we doing here? Like, what is she going? Like, what is she doing?
Well, Franny or Matt was like, hey, we want to get back to Ponderosa.
Yeah,
we heard this
plans.
Franny needed to get back to working on that glow that she showed up to tribal with.
But with Carolyn, she didn't need to play that idol.
No.
Which is what I was starting to say is that's even more wild to me. That like I think she thought that what was going to happen happened, but she had that little seed of doubt, and that's why she ended up playing it for him. But like, sure was a big show in front of the jury.
Yes,
I think that could come back to bite her.
It definitely is going to come back. It has to, right? I mean, because it's like the jury just turned into us. I mean, they kind of are. They're the audience at this point.
Yeah.
But like, it's like they all suddenly realized what fun Carolyn is to watch. And they were like, oh, wow, she's really something from this angle when we've had a proper amount of sleep and food. She's hilarious.
Right. And even like, it's funny that we got today, everybody's slowly awakening to the fact, like all of a sudden everyone's like, we love Jam Jam. He's so much fun. And I'm like, didn't you guys like hate him for the first like 9 episodes? Like,
yeah,
easily.
Wasn't he?
But now everyone's on top of this. Like Carolyn's a mastermind. She's the mastermind of this game.
She is, and she's the only one that had the read on the Carson vote.
Yep. And they weren't going to listen. They weren't going to listen to her again, but now they will.
Yes, it's just good for her that I don't know, like maybe good for her it took this long because it kept her under the radar, but like it must be so infuriating to be right most of the time and have nobody listen to you. But I'm a mom. I know what that's like. Yes.
But she should have kept her idol though.
Well, yeah. I think Well, now in retrospect, knowing that she did, but she straight up played them.
Yeah, she was, and she was. I mean, if they hadn't have switched their votes, I mean, it wasn't a bad idea for her to play it, but it's not great for the second part of her game. That's going to be scary, but
she's going
you know,
to, like I said, if she can make it through this, at least she can say, okay, hey, I was playing the game.
Yep.
But you've got to make it through the next round.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
And that was the one thing like that I thought about today is she only had one more vote, one more tribal to play the idol because they're done after 6, right?
Yep.
So she needed
no, they can do it up until 5, right?
I thought it was 6.
No, I think
5 is the last one.
It is? Okay.
5 is the last one use it. So
okay, maybe I'm thinking of some of the conditional, because maybe I'm thinking of some of the conditional idols in the past.
Well, that could be
There's
true.
only
But
like
who
100
knows?
different things.
Yeah. But we're getting down to the end. The irony is playing the idol made her the target, but it also gave her the jury cred too. So like, it's kind of one of those like damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Well, again, she can say she's playing the game, but again, she has to make it through the next round, or it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Right.
Yes, she does. Well, she has the power of the lobster now. Maybe that will work as.
Oh, I know you've been waiting to talk about this lobster.
As an idol of proxy. It was the power of the lobster. She has the pokey finger. I don't know. Maybe
the pokey finger scared me. That was a huge pokey finger. You could do some damage with that.
Yeah, you could from far away too.
I hopefully she doesn't sleep with it. Poor Jam will lose an eye. She rolls over. My eye!
Stop snoring! Just stop snoring.
Oh, you have to get medevaced out. Oh, I'm sorry, Jam. I'm sorry.
Whoops.
It was an accident.
So Jack, you don't think that Carolyn should have played the idol because it didn't matter in the end. If it had turned out that she saved Carson, which then in turn kept her numbers up, do you think that would have been the right move? Or
oh yeah, she had to keep Carson, but also remember too, just a week ago, they blindsided her and not. She spent the first half of the episode crying because she took it personal, and she said, I shouldn't take it personal, but she's not sleeping, and but again, can she trust Jam and Carson?
Well, clearly she thinks she can, and let's be honest, she probably can at the moment trust them more than the other 3 people that are out there, especially because nobody else thought that she was even playing a game.
No, but now again, she has if she can make it to the final 3, she's got a case. Because we were saying last week, how is she going to say that she was playing the game when she hasn't really shown to anyone she's playing the game? She seems likable. I mean, people seem to like her, but she seems to be, of course, Lauren and Danny, she was kind of rubbing the wrong, because she even said, I need to know how to I can't keep my mouth shut, because Jeff said, you're very honest, aren't you? Yes, I am, Jeff.
Yeah.
Are you annoyed with me? Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to kill you. I have my finger.
Oh my gosh. I will stab you with my lobster poker.
That's what she should have brought, the finger. Jeff, I've had enough of you.
Oh my God.
Let's just go vote.
Poor Karen.
But again, it's a good move if she can make it to final 3. If not, I mean, like I said, if she gets voted, she has no protection. I'm assuming they're not throwing these idols back in this late in the game.
Yeah, let's hope not. Jinx.
But we shall see.
I think that if we go to a Carson, Carolyn, Jam final 3, I don't think it would be a blow you out of the water win. I think it would actually be pretty close, because we're hearing different people showing respect for the games now with Carolyn, But like Jam Jam and Carson, I would say that, if it was the three of them, Carolyn would be maybe Franny would throw her a vote, but otherwise, she would be an easy third place. But
they also too, they can also, all three can make a case. Hey, we shouldn't even still be in the game.
They shouldn't, and that's the crazy part too.
Right.
It's all
three of them are still in the game when they were down to just
the three of them, yeah.
The three of them, yeah. So it was like people just kept overlooking them. I mean, Danny, even tonight, like, Carolyn's wrong.
Yeah.
And she was she had her like Natasha Leone, like a bull S meter on. Like, have you guys seen Poker Face?
Yes.
Yes.
She goes, bull beep. Like,
yep.
Carolyn she does that all the time. Like, she was especially doing that tonight, which I thought was very funny.
She's had it.
She has had it. Let's talk about Jam Jam though. So, all of a sudden, everyone loves Jam Jam. Jam Jams and Carson are like the clear-cut winners to everybody else. Even if even if Danny goes to the final three with Carson, he's just gonna vote for him over himself.
Yes, if he were cloned.
If he were cloned, yes.
If he were cloned, he would do that.
Jam Jam's just gonna clone himself and bring all three of himself to the final three. With the immunity challenge, my children were so delighted. Zachary especially was so delighted to see that challenge back. He remembered it from last season. He's like, "This is the one where they."
Well, when Heidi had her legs wrapped in the thing, in between the bars, I'm like going. I turned to my wife, Cindy. I said, "There's no way." I go, "What if you have to you get panic and you can't get your legs out?"
I thought of that too, and I even thought with Jam Jam, like. I feel like the big risk there is you panic and you try to jerk your head up, but we then get like knocked out by the bars.
Well, there are divers in there. I mean, there
right.
are, but if you're stuck in that thing and you only have so much time to get out, before you start taking on water. And then of course, Danny waterboarded Jam Jam when he jumped in to tell me he won.
That was actually kind of sweet too, where he was just, Jam Jam, you won. And I'm like, wow, how crazy, like, focused does he have to be right now that he doesn't even realize he won?
He wasn't listening to Jeff, which probably pissed Jeff off.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what started Jeff's sour, salty mood this whole episode was Lauren saying, Jeff, just don't even talk to me right now. What the heck?
Because Lauren even made a smart aleck comment on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
She said something.
Jeff's
like going,
Jeff is like, these Survivor youngsters. Jeff's like, these Survivor youngsters, no respect for us elder
No respect for the game. Oh hey, when I was watching this challenge, I had an idea for the future for these games. All right. You know how sometimes they give an advantage to somebody and on one of the challenges and only one person has a chance for it's some kind of advantage. What if they had where nobody knows what the challenge is going to be, but they give them like 5 or 6 different things where people can choose from. They can all choose the same thing. That gives them an advantage to a challenge. Okay. So say you're going up to you think it might be a water challenge. Well, I get a snorkel or something like that. But it may not be a water challenge. I'm saying, but you have to take a chance on what the challenge is going to be. So I was thinking, it'd be nice if you could get like a straw or something to suck through, through the, to bring the challenge. And go, wow, is it going to be a water challenge? Do I have to hold my, yeah. You see what I'm saying? You put like 5 or 6 up.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Each survivor.
Yeah.
They can all pick the same item, or they can just pick it. Oh, wait, it might be a puzzle challenge. Here's a diagram of what the puzzle's supposed to be. I mean, it would put the skill. It would put someone just not being handed an advantage like they usually are.
Right.
They have to guess what the challenge is going to be. And so, okay, what challenges have we done? A lot of puzzle challenges. I'm just saying you can have 6 different things. Like if it's a standing challenge, maybe you can put both feet down or something like that.
Could we add to the rules that regardless of what the thing is, if you picked the right thing for the challenge or not, you still have to use it?
So, you have to
I love
use
the
it.
idea of like somebody trying to balance on one foot while like holding up the like balancing stick in the ball while wearing the snorkel. Just because
I see what you're saying. So they have to have the snorkel. Whatever they choose, they have to use
whatever they choose. Yeah,
that's even better. I like that. I think we've come up with something.
We've done it.
It's not the Lee Harvey. It's the what's the I forgot the comedian. Harvey. His idol wasn't it? Didn't he have Tyler Perry idol?
Oh, the Tyler Perry idol. Okay.
Now we got the Tyler
Harvey,
Perry.
Steve Harvey. What?
We have the Tyler Perry.
Harvey Keitel
suggestion. Yeah, Harvey Keitel. Lee Harvey Oswald. Just
the Lee Harvey Oswald.
Oh, that's the shot in the dark. I'm sorry.
Very good.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Too soon.
Oh Lord. Oh God. Nobody's gonna top that. Show's over.
Excellent.
That was really funny. Okay.
I apologize.
Yeah, I apologize. We're losing people. All right. Gameplay. I think it's pretty obvious that Jamie and Lauren aren't winning.
Yeah.
I had that. They're both fun, but I had that moment today when what's her name? Carolyn threw the lobster shell and Lauren picked it up. And I was like, oh yeah, Lauren's here. I have that every single week.
That's been a lot. I mean, we barely have seen, of course, in the past, that's happened where someone like that has won. Out of the blues. But
how is she building fire? Because this new era, that really seems you either have to play a really great game throughout where you have a good resume, or you don't have to have any of that, but you have got to build fire faster and better than one other person.
Right. And Jam Jam is good at making. So Jam Jam and Heidi are the good fire makers, right?
They are really good at making fire.
And apparently really good at holding their breath underwater, too.
Yes.
And Carson's bathtub practice did not pay off for him.
It did not. He couldn't 3D print a new set of lungs or fear or bravery.
No. It's got to be tough. I mean, when that water starts coming in.
Honestly, as I tried to tell the boys, I was like, you probably feel like you're fine, but there's a time when the water goes over your face and you're trapped under that thing and the water is moving you. And that's when your survival instincts kick in. So even if you don't feel afraid, it's a survival instinct.
Yeah. Which also,
Danny clearly has a lot of. Danny's like, my forte is fire, not water.
The water is salty too. And when it gets up your nose. I mean, anyone who's been to the beach.
Mm-hmm. And it's cold when you're out there and it's that deep. It's cold.
Yep, cold. It's deep and it's salty.
Alex shivers his way through swimming lessons. There's no way that kid or adult kid version of him would make it in there longer than like 10 seconds.
I'd freak out. Regardless of the comfort, I mean, like I don't know. There's just something about being. Yeah, like you're trapped under those bars, but it's probably fine at first. It may be a little bit tiring or uncomfortable when that tide comes in and it gets like the first 2 or 3 times it comes up over your nose and mouth, like done. That's so claustrophobic. That's what I felt like Lauren kind of experienced, because it's like she just had one little dip of water go over her nose and mouth and she was outie. So,
well, she was already shivering. I mean, she was
she's like, nope, not. And honestly, if you feel like, if you are not feeling really confident in what you're doing, that is the competition to dip out early. Like,
right.
Don't even try. Just get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why go? I mean, like Heidi went all the way to the end and lost. I mean, she gave it a try, but kind of surprised I'm surprised she didn't play her idol. I mean, she's gotten votes the last 3 weeks.
I know. She looks so nervous too. Mm-hmm. And especially when Carolyn pulled that out. But and because she still could have pulled it out after that.
She could have.
So, I'm guessing she's playing it next week, and that will factor into who I pick.
I would think if she doesn't play it next week, she's making a mistake.
Yes.
And I did like how Danny said, I don't take it personal who voted for me. Who voted for me? Who voted for him? I know. The first 20 minutes trying to figure out who voted for him. Oh yeah, Jam Jam says it was Heidi. First grader could see through that. He's not good. He's the opposite of Poker Face.
What, Jam Jam, Danny, or both?
Danny.
I kind of feel like it's both.
A little bit, maybe a little bit.
Jam Jam saved himself by winning.
Well, Danny said that he thought Jamie had the idol, right?
Yep.
She's lying. And then this week he said, "Oh, Jam Jam told him the truth, and he didn't believe him."
I know.
So clearly,
and there was no talk this week about Jamie having an idol.
No, I mean it probably doesn't matter anymore at this point.
No one's gonna
going back to the challenge. Elena said I had a panic attack on my couch. I hate this challenge. And Chris said the worst would be if you were inhaling as the water flowed over your face. Yeah, that would be like
100%.
You would have to get up immediately because you would cough water in again. Yes, poor Elena was texting me the little Bitmoji characters of herself freaking out, and I'm like, wow, over here we're loving this challenge right now. When I tell you, they were sitting there screaming and cheering, like, "Come on, Jam Jam, go Jam Jam!"
Wait, did Alex stay with Jam Jam the whole time?
Well, first he was with me, where I was like, "Come on, Carolyn, I was like, if there's something that Carolyn could do, it's this crazy challenge." No. And then when she went out, I was like, "Who are we gonna switch for now?" And he's like, "I think Jam Jam was blue." He's like, "We're gonna vote for blue," and I was like, "That's Jam Jam, let's go!" And then we were all cheering for Jam Jam, and he, to his credit, all the way to the end, he went with Jam Jam. And then jumped up and down.
It was all that toothbrushing advice. He's got a fan now.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
You got a fan in me.
I think he's a fan despite the toothbrushing advice.
You were really cool up until that point, but I still like you.
Yeah. Thanks, Jam Jam.
Had to bring the teeth into this. Thanks.
Yeah. But there was no reward challenge this week, was there?
No, not that we saw. Did you guys think for a second that it could be Heidi's day to go home, since we got this like big emotional montage?
Yeah, she got quite a little she got a
I thought it might be her time. Plus, if Danny would have believed Jam Jam, I think he could have got Heidi, because no one knows Heidi she was smart. She didn't tell anyone she has the
Carolyn.
Well, Carolyn told Carson today, so maybe that's why she felt she had to play it too.
Yeah, it's because then it would be, if she had told him that, then didn't play it, and he went home, she'd be screwed with the jury.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which I think, she said she was going to play the idol for me, and she didn't. I went home.
She didn't. You could see, like, there was just sort of like when she went up to write down the name, like when it was time to, present an idol, like you could see her reel turning like really fast. I think she changed her mind like 3 times in half a second. It's like for a split second, I thought, oh my God, she's not going to play it. But
well, like someone here said, she was counting. It looked like she was counting on her fingers, doing this, just figuring out the odds of what happened. Like I said, I don't know why she would have gone away from Danny.
Yeah,
unless she changed her, because she definitely got pissy during the tribal counts. We had Danny, and then Lauren, and Lauren said, "No, I misspoke," or whatever she said. Danny goes, "I didn't."
Carolyn too was like, "I said what I said."
Yeah.
You're annoying, Jeff.
No, it really it says something to Danny, because we get to see what we see, but like he's had 3 different people that he's buddied up with, or in his head he's buddied up with, or considers to be a really close ally. Even Franny, who he saved, but Franny, Heidi, and Carolyn are all like, "Bye, dude. I'll write. It's cool. I'll write your name down. Like, no problems." So he really had an idea that he had a stronger loyalty than I think he ever did. I don't think he ever
he misjudged, and like they said, I think Heidi said, well, maybe Franny voted for you. No. And who did? Was it Franny that voted for him, or was it Carolyn? No, it was Heidi. What am I thinking?
It was Heidi. Yeah.
She admitted it. Yeah. which to me still doesn't make sense. But
so Carol, I'm sorry, Sherry has an interesting point. So Sherry, we did talk at the beginning of the show about why would Carolyn go Lauren and then switch to Danny, but as Sherry said, Carolyn, if she had not switched her vote from Lauren to Danny, then it would have been a 3-way tie between Carson would have had 2, Danny would have had 2, and Heidi would have had 2.
Yeah, Carson would have been safe.
Well, then it would have, if she hadn't played the idol. It would have, gone to that.
So maybe that's what she was at. Again. She was adding up. Maybe she knew there was 2 votes for Danny, 2 votes for Carson. Right, she knew votes were going for Carson.
She definitely knew the Carson votes. So maybe that is what she was trying to do.
Yeah.
And Heidi got another vote, right? Heidi did get a vote.
Heidi got 2 votes.
Both 2 votes. Lauren, that's right. Yeah.
Lauren and Jamie both voted for her. Yes. Mm-hmm. And because at first I thought, oh well, you know how people try to like get nervous and they like try to do things to calm themselves down, like stroke your because okay, let me focus on something. I have a tattoo on my hand. Let me focus on that and kind of like people just do little tricks that like kind of ease their anxiety. So at first I thought that's what she was doing, but yours makes more sense. She was probably counting, like going through scenarios in her head, like what if all 3 of them play an idol? Or, everybody gets an idol. Like, should I throw another vote just so there is? But
right, do I have to play my idol for Carson or whatever?
Yeah, but I'm glad that
she was smart. What happens if she plays the idol for herself? She plays the idol for Carson.
I think
she needs it.
I think she was worried that somebody would break and throw it on her, so she wanted to have another vote on somebody else. So at the very least, there would be a tie at the or whatever. That makes the most sense. Thank you, Sherry, and Jack. I'm glad we talked this out, guys.
I'm glad we worked this out.
And I'm glad that Danny went home as a good winner. Like, a good loser, rather. He wasn't like a sore loser.
No. Well, he's a fun guy, but he just, I think he has, like we saw it with him way back when with Carolyn and, was it Brandon? Brandon. He doesn't really listen to people.
No.
And I think that's what his trouble was. That's, I think you said, someone said, James, I think you said it was, he didn't really have a grasp of who was going, like who his friends were, who his allies were. Because I don't think he listens. Yeah. He has a certain way he thinks the game should be played.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's trying to call all the shots and he only hears his own voice. So he assumes that's the way it's going.
Be honest with you, it's surprised he lasted as long as he did.
Well, I mean, he saved himself at one point, so he probably would have been gone had not been for that.
When did he save himself? Because he hasn't won immunity, and he hasn't played an idol for himself.
He saved Franny.
It was Franny, yeah. Never mind. Yeah. He saved Franny. Well, that could have saved him down the road, but it did not because he is not making good allies. Sorry,
I think he's just one of those people that has a personality where he not steamrolls other people to go along, but like refuses to accept no for an answer kind of person. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it's funny to me too, because like, I mean, he was even there at the beginning kind of trying to protect Carolyn, and Carolyn was like, God, no, get rid of him. Like, he needs to go.
Well, her expressions, like when she was in front of him when they're at she's on the log and he's talking. She's like,
so good.
She'd be great on the jury. She'd be great on the jury because she'd have those classic, expressions on,
Yes.
She'd be the one people are focusing on because they really don't have anyone to focus on.
Yeah.
Because no one's really making, goofy expressions.
Right.
Well, I mean, Matt is a goofy expression like most of the time.
Matt's making googly eyes.
Yeah, he's always just being like goofy. So.
My girlfriend.
Anyway. My girlfriend. I really loved the little moment that we got with Carolyn in Jam swimming and doing all the Little Mermaid action.
Little Mermaid moment.
Yes. She was really making friends with all the sea life this week.
Well, she said, she goes, I'm
dead and alive.
I'm getting out of the game. I'm out of the game for a little while.
Just being, just relaxing, having fun. My husband he pointed out that he really likes their relationship because they're very, they're not even, it's not even like they're allies. They are very much like siblings. Like,
yeah,
that's
a good point.
Like, just at each other, but then come back around to be on each other's side, and then for like they take a breath and then they're right back to like,
when are they going to realize they can't trust Carson?
Next week?
They've been able to trust Carson thus far.
Well, Carson's playing. He's playing everybody, so I think.
But he always falls back in line with Jam Jam and generally Carolyn. Last week,
yes, but I
don't think he's ever had a period of time where, I mean, everyone thinks that they can trust Carson, but Carson keeps going back, I think, again and again with the other two.
I wouldn't trust him.
Yeah.
He has that innocent look on his face, like, oh yeah, okay.
So he almost got the nice like send-off monologue in the
Yep.
Jeff, if it's you, Carson, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Also, can we just talk about how Jeff almost died after Carson's like little speech? It's like his eyes just turned into heart emojis. Like, he's just like, this is the magic. This is the magic I've been.
It's like, I found a new Spencer. I found a new Spencer, everyone, and he's even younger.
Oh my gosh, it was hilarious. He just was like in love instantly. Like, this is it. This is why I'm here. This is what it's all about.
This is what Survivor is all about.
I think that he.
Are you still mad at me, Carolyn?
Yes.
I think that he and production really love that trio, the Tika trio.
Well, they've kept the season interesting.
They have kept the season interesting.
I mean, where would they be without those three?
Sitting in a kumbaya circle with Jamie.
Because the rest, I'm not. The rest, I'm not. I don't want to sound like I'm bashing them, but they're not very interesting as far as.
Jamie, bless her heart, she tries real hard. She's always giving good faith. She's like using her theater production and projection in all of the confessionals. Like, she is trying, and maybe, yes, her like jazz hands, spirit fingers would be a bigger deal in a season where she wasn't fourth on the fourth billing behind the other three.
Right. But hey, she did she did,
she loves this game.
The nice opportunity to have that like moon to circle transition that they did. That was really nice. That was a nice, tight, clean special effect. It was beautiful.
That was cool.
I mean, losing Sling Matt hurt. I mean, Sling Matt was interesting.
Yeah.
We lost some interesting people early on. And then this is who we're left with. And it's like, okay, if we didn't have these three, Carson, Jam Jam, and Carolyn, I'd be like, okay, I don't know if I want to watch, but that's.
Yeah, they do bring the fun for sure.
I mean, Danny had a personality, but it's kind of personality.
He did have a big personality.
Yeah.
There's always one that's got that like that same energy. And so now he's out. So what, does Carolyn kind of become like number one target to everybody? Like, is she now the villain in their eyes to their winning? So
apparently, which is crazy because this is only one move that all of a sudden everyone's like, Carolyn's the biggest threat. And it's like,
but I think it's people going, oh, I didn't think she was even playing the game. And she was playing the game.
Yeah.
So that, I think when people realize that, okay, what's her, I mean, if she's been, maybe I didn't see it, but maybe the people in the jury saw that she was playing the game the whole time. I don't know. So I think, like I said, she opened herself up, and hopefully she can win immunity next week. But again, her track record on challenges has been terrible.
Yeah.
She could be, she could be the one to go home.
She could be.
I'm a little worried. I'm worried about it.
Sherry also says, I'm surprised that Matt and Franny were not sitting together at Tribal. I don't think that you can pick your seats at Tribal. I'm pretty sure that you have it.
I think it's the order you go out.
Yeah, I think so too. Oh, and if it's not the order you...
Plus, they ran out of cold water to throw on them, so they had to separate them.
Do you think they have like tape, like sitting on the seat, like with their initial or something? Like, do they have a marker so they know like that's?
I'm sure that there's probably color.
they're-
There's probably color X's there. like maybe like a piece of like you said, a
Right.
piece of tape that's like
or
a
even
blue.
if
Okay,
there's not,
Matt, you have blue. Brandon, you have red.
Well, we've seen them in old Ponderosa videos, like line up to go into tribal.
Yeah,
So
that's true. Yeah,
I think that
But
it's
they-
just
but they
like
have-
you're
they have-
grown-ups, you can figure out your seats. You're in the top row, your seat 1, 2, 3, 4.
But like
you're in the
acting,
bottom
you
row.
have to.
Yeah.
Like in a movie, you have to. On a TV show, you have to hit your mark. So I'm sure they're sitting in where the lighting's the best. So that they're sitting in probably like an assigned seat that they have to sit. Okay, you have to sit right here. You have to sit right there. Or of course they're already there. They're already there when the people come in. So production probably sits them down. Okay, you sit here. You sit here.
Because they're not bringing them in anymore. Because that's how it used to be, right?
Like they were going to bring in the jury. Yeah.
Yeah.
Elena says that was the furthest they've been apart since Franny hit Ponderosa. And Janet just got here. I just finished and I loved it. So did we. I really enjoyed this episode.
Fun. It was very like satisfactory, like
except the impression.
Even that was great because Jeff let it go on too long.
Yeah, it was
great awkward humor.
I thought Jeff was going to hit him with the snuffer. I don't know the official name for it, but the snuffer. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah. I think it's the snuffer, the torch snuffer.
Yeah.
You know that. Oh, I know why Jeff was standing there looking at him so awkward for such a long time. He was trying to think of a De Niro quote or a scene quote to like quote back at him, and he couldn't do it. And production was sitting there. Yeah.
Are you talking to me? That's what Jeff should have said.
He couldn't do it. In the moment, Jeff couldn't improv. And that's exactly
You're right.
why we got that cringy
that's where Jeff needed an earpiece. Are you talking to me? That's all he had to say. Are you talking to me?
Are you talking to me?
Are you talking to me?
I
just had a baby, and I'm 70. I'm 79. I just had a baby.
Oh God, that's right.
Oh my gosh. Yep.
Wow, what great timing that this episode would come out the day after Robert De Niro's new fatherhood at 79.
I'm like,
with his oldest being 51. Crazy.
Yeah,
that's too much, guys. That's too much.
So his oldest child could be the person's is it a girl or a guy?
Definitely be a grandparent.
He could be a grandparent to the youngest one.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Jenna's favorite part was when Jeff asked Carolyn, "Are you mad at me now?" And she said, "Yes."
Yes.
Well, yes. She didn't hold back because usually they'll say, "No, not Carolyn." Yes.
But you know what? She had no choice. She had to do that because she had to play it off because she admitted she was annoyed with Danny, and that could have tipped him off that she was coming for him, that she had to diffuse the situation. That's exactly what I would have done, is I would have been like, "Yes, Jeff, I'm mad at you." And then I would have played it off to be like, "Oh, Colleen's just being Colleen. Carolyn's just being Carolyn. Like, there's nothing to worry about. She's not just saying she's annoyed and like now she's going to throw a vote at me or something." Like,
well, see, I wouldn't have said it. I wouldn't have said anything to Danny.
Well,
I just would have. Okay, that's Danny just being his arrogant self in my head.
I think that Carolyn's been waiting to say something to Danny for a pretty long time now.
Been fighting it back. She's been fighting.
She had that idol armor where she, got her courage tonight. But it's also, I just remembered, like, she said she was coming for them to get them out, and in the end, she made the move that got Danny out, and I love that.
Because I don't think that Carson and Jam Jam wanted to get Danny out. Did they? I mean, they were kind of like, well,
they always seem to think that maybe either it wasn't like a big deal to get him out, like they weren't seeing what she was seeing, or is it that they were purposely leaving him there so they could hide behind it?
I think that they just didn't see him. I think they just didn't see him a threat. We never saw them say anything like, "I want to hide behind Danny."
Because right now, who's the challenge beast? I mean, between the 6 people left.
There isn't one.
Even Danny wasn't a challenge beast. I mean,
no, there really isn't one. Like the people there that have won one time.
I mean, Carson's a puzzle challenge beast, but that's it.
But because they said some one reason someone said they wanted to keep Danny is because he's terrible at the puzzles.
Right.
He goes he won't win a puzzle challenge.
So that would have been Carson.
And usually the finale.
Carson then. Yep.
Yeah, usually getting the final, to get in to win the final is a puzzle one or that ball one. One.
Well, despite all of that, yes, at the end of the day, he was still calling the shots for that other group of 4. So
he was.
He is someone that they had to target because the only other person they seem to be worried about is Heidi, and they've effectively kind of neutered everybody else's game, especially after tonight.
Yeah, if they want to go final 3 with those 3, they can do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they do.
I don't know. I hope they do, and I generally really don't like when the final, when a group of people kind of decimate the rest of them, like a pagonging, but in this case it wasn't really a pagonging, but
just steamroll it.
Mm-hmm. Right. Like I just generally don't like that, but these 3 are so entertaining and so just fun to watch and likable that I'm like, all right, let's do it. Let's go. You guys sold me. 2 more weeks. We got this.
But I think they realize their chance to win is better against a Jamie, a Lauren, who else am I forgetting there? Heidi, maybe. I mean,
if I'm them, I want to take. If I'm any of the 3 of them, I would want to take Lauren and Jamie.
Jamie, yeah, because I don't see them winning.
But they're all 3 people that are like, I could see them all also just honoring their commitment and being like, let's go for it. Because Carolyn and Jam Jam especially,
it's $1 million.
It's $1 million.
Don't be a woo.
I don't think that Jam Jam is going to stick by Carolyn. I mean, and not just based off of what we're seeing for like next week clip. I do not. I see him jumping and going over to like the Lauren, Jamie, Heidi. Like I think it's been in the works for a while.
I could see him sticking with Carson and Carson being the number 2 that he wants to take to the end. But again, I don't know.
Plus, if you're Jam Jam
all over the place.
If you're Jam Jam and Carson, if you're going to take Carolyn out, take her out now because it gives her time to cool off before the jury votes. If you wait until the end, then she's going to be, it's the next day. She's going to be bitter and angry. So if you're going to take her out, next week is the week to take her out.
Yeah. Janet said, "Is Heidi the one idol left?" Yes.
Yes.
Heidi is the only real idol left. Well, I guess the only idol left, real or fake, in the game.
Yeah.
So, and if I'm her, I'm playing that next week if I don't have immunity.
Yeah. There's no reason not to play it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. You just got to play it. Now she can. I mean, she might play it for somebody else. I don't see Heidi playing her idol for. She does not feel like I'm gonna put this risk out there and save this person because Heidi's there to play for Heidi. Like
she's very reasonable too. As Danny had pointed out. So, okay. Any last thoughts about the episode itself? Otherwise, we will move into the tally the votes and the feedback section. Nope. Cool. All right.
I got nothing.
You want to do the feedback? Wait, hold on. Wait, I can't even do it to me.
We have feedback?
Want to do a feedback? We could do a feedback. Feedback? What?
I don't know.
We're going to go to a commercial break. And then after the commercial break, we're going to take the cannoli and go read the feedback. I know that's not De Niro, but right? That's not De Niro. That's the other one.
No, I don't know. Leave the gun, take the cannoli.
Take the cannoli. I know. I've seen that movie. It's been like a good decade, though.
You were there, Phil.
I've seen it more than once, I think.
But who would want the cannoli with all the brains all over it? That's what I'm.
Never underestimate Italians and the good pastry.
Okay,
we love them.
It wasn't a box, so.
It was in a box. Who cares? Get a napkin. Scrape the brains off.
It's still good. 5-second rule.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, quick break. Be right back. Okay, and now we're back. Okay, getting into the tally the votes. I will start. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. We had an email from Mandy.
Mandy.
She was not able to watch live, but if it wasn't already talked about, what are the thoughts on the 90-minute episodes in the fall?
Oh, God.
And if it has been talked about, Jack, what are your thoughts on 90-minute Amazing Race episodes? Well, Mandy, thank you for reminding us about that, because I meant to talk about it and forgot. And
it just means more commercials.
That's exactly it. I'm like, I don't want to spend more time watching commercials.
But Amazing Race, the Amazing Race, I don't usually watch it till the next day.
Right.
So I don't have commercials. So that's not going to affect me. Will you get more content? I mean, Survivor is already, I think, at the max they can do now. I mean, it's what more could they add unless they have a different kind of challenge? Unless they add a different kind of challenge into the maybe a reward challenge, another challenge.
The reward challenges anymore. I have a sneaking suspicion that after the feedback of this season, when everyone is just like loving the whole we're just sitting around camp and getting to know these people
that's fine.
thing.
I'm fine with more camp life.
Yeah,
but we need 30 more minutes of I don't think we no. So I honestly think it's going to hurt their ratings, not help their ratings.
What we're going to get is we're going to get 10 more minutes of camp life and 20 more minutes of commercials.
That's it.
Yeah. Everybody wins.
Right.
Because the problem with network television now is we're all, I mean, obviously we all grew up on commercials. I think we're all old enough to grow up on, I mean, I obviously older, but you didn't think anything of it. But now it's like when you're watching Netflix or you're watching even Hulu or anything where you don't have a commercial, it's like sometimes with Paramount, they'll say, "Oh, this one is not covered under the no commercial." That you're like going, "Wait, I have to watch a commercial before the show starts."
For?
So it's like I don't see it being successful. It's just like when The Office did it. Those episodes weren't any funnier. It was like, okay, sometimes they were worse because they were just okay. You're just dragging out the episode. So I'm not happy about it, but again, the only one that affects me is Survivor because I have to watch it live. But also now it's going to be go till 9:30, which means we don't start recording till 9:45.
Yeah,
I'm neither optimistic or pessimistic about it.
Okay.
I'm really. It's one of those wait and see because I don't want to get my hopes up that it's going to be something more players? Good. Yeah, it's CBS. You know, I know I've learned over the years being a fan of CBS reality competitions. Don't get your hopes up. Like, just wait it out, see how it goes.
I'll give it a chance, but I don't want to be up that late because I'm old and tired now. Truly.
Another thing I was thinking too, other than the different the advantage challenge thing I was thinking about. I miss them going to different locations. I understand why they do it because it's a lot cheaper to just stay in the same location.
I do,
but
too.
I miss them going to Australia. I miss them going to Africa. I miss them going to Mexico and all the different places they went to. I miss that. I am sick of. And there's places they could do in the United States. They could where they could go. They could do this. Because I was sitting there thinking, I go, oh, it's the same thing. We got the papaya, we got the mango or whatever, we got the coconuts. It's like, okay, we got the water, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's taken away a lot for building shelter. Like, that's not nearly the interesting point it used to be because they're just building on top of the same platform that was there, like from the game 2 weeks ago.
Right. It's gotten the backdrop is no because it used to be oh my god, look how beautiful that is. Now it's like, okay, yeah, I've seen it, Yeah. Okay, whatever. Do it in Alaska or something like that.
They need to use that extra half hour in travel time.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe we can hop over to a different island nearby. Maybe that'll help.
Because that's to me is the thing that makes the Amazing Race the most fascinating is that they're in different locations. I mean, sometimes they'll go to a same city, but most of the time, okay, wow, I never knew that was so nice there.
Yeah.
It's like
and
a travel.
If they've been someplace enough times, they just raise the elevation of where they're going to be filming.
Yeah. You mean Switzerland?
Yeah. They just put you higher up and you have a farther way to go when you come down.
Yeah. Okay. So Sherry says, do you guys like the finale on a stage or on the island?
Stage.
I like the stage too.
It doesn't matter because they barely they do like 15 minutes of the stage anyway. It used to be really interesting and fascinating, but Jeff's not good at it. And
yeah.
I miss them having a little bit of time and reflection on everything. And
yes, I like that too. And Jeff can ask specific questions about stuff that we saw in the episode, where we kind of lose that when it's on the island. Everybody's starving, or rather the final three are starving. They're processing. They don't really quite, have their thoughts composed yet. So I like it better on
the pizza and champagne. It's like, whatever,
right.
It doesn't look like good pizza. And I guess the champagne works if they're trying to get people buzzed. But Carson and Carolyn, if it's a final three of the three of them, it's just going to be jam drinking.
But again, having it on a stage costs more money for production. Whereas
it does,
they're already there. They put up some benches. Okay, here we go.
I think it was money better spent, honestly, though. I mean,
I do too.
It was I don't know, it was just way more exciting. I looked forward to it. Sometimes I look forward to it more than the actual finale itself.
Well, because so wow, they cleaned up nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's also really cool too. How many times you're like, wow, they look very different now.
They look human.
Yeah, I want to see half of Sia's chin as she gives the money. To the winner of her choice.
Did she do that? Does she still do that or not?
No, she doesn't still do that.
No, she doesn't give it to him personally, but they still get the money. Last year,
yeah. She still does the Sia money because Jesse got it last year, and somebody else. She gives it to two people, I think.
Yeah, but she doesn't. Yeah, it's just via Zoom.
Yes. Okay. So moving to tally the votes, all three of us thought that Danny was going to make the merge, which means Jamie has 8.5. Jack has 7. Colleen has 7. All three of us still have our winners' picks in. Mine's Carolyn, Jack's is Jam, and Jamie's is Carson. As far as who was going home, well, none of us got it.
I thought I had Danny. What an idiot.
Jamie calls me. I think you might have changed it to Carolyn. You had Carolyn, I had Jamie, and our Jamie had Lauren. So there we are. Now we're all caught up. Who do you think is going home next week? And, this is an audience participation show. Make your cases in the chat, too, if you think one of us is crazy. Jay's not involved anymore. It's my rules.
I think it's Carolyn.
Oh, all right. You didn't even need any thought about that one.
Well, Heidi, if Heidi goes home next week, she's a terrible player.
Yeah.
she's gotten votes the last 3. She even said it. If she doesn't play her idol next week, I mean, I get one to hold on to the last minute, but she's got to say, okay, I got a good chance to win one of these challenges. I was second in this challenge. I think she won it. Didn't she win a challenge? Immunity challenge?
Yes. Did she?
I think
Why am I blanking?
I don't know that she did. I don't know. She might.
But she's been competitive, I know, in most of them.
Right.
So
I'm not going to pick Heidi because I think that Heidi's going to play the idol.
There's no way she should go home.
Yeah. Okay. Jamie, you want to go next, or you want me to go next?
I am thinking that it's going to be Jam.
Oh.
Whoa, what? So
do you think that
it's my winner's pick?
Carolyn's hands, or?
I think it might end up being a Carson thing. This is why, because the fact that they jumped in and showed us this whole idea, and him kind of crying about how he's going to have to cut Carolyn, and he's going to have to talk to somebody about it. And they've mentioned his name enough times, and I think they're gonna be a little bit gun shy of Carolyn, and they're gonna think that if they get rid of him, then she's gonna be an easier target to get out. I feel like it's gonna be him. That's it.
All right. I hope you're wrong. I've gone this far with it being
now you want him to stick around.
Well, because it's this late in the game. I mean,
now you got to keep your points.
Yeah, I know. In fact, if he wins it, I'm pretty sure I win it.
I'm going to go with Lauren, and here's my reasoning behind Lauren. Is when they were discussing today, they said that the three of the trio, the Tika three, the three amigos, musketeers, whatever they are, they mentioned that they thought the three stooges, they thought the two biggest threats to win the game were Danny and Lauren.
Yep.
And they got Danny out, and I think that they're coming for Lauren next, because I think that I personally think that the three of them have eye on the prize, and they are not going to turn on each other just yet.
I think that's a pretty educated guess. I mean, if they stick together, it will probably be Lauren, or it's going to be Jam Jam. One or the other.
So that's who I think. I think that it's going to be Lauren, and then
Jam Jam's going on a immunity run.
Oh,
that'd be fun. I wouldn't be against it. Points be damned, it would be fun.
So then that would bring us to after next week. We have the finale on May 24th. So then start thinking for next week. What we'll be doing is listing who we think is going to be the final 5 in order, and then you'll get I'll review it. I vow to review it up until right before this segment, maybe, where we'll be able to. I believe what we do next week is the top 5. You get points if you get them in order, or I don't know. I'll review whatever it was, or Mandy can remind me.
And are we doing like order out of the top 5, like in what order?
Yes, so we'll throw 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yep. Okay.
And Janice said Heidi will turn on Lauren and Jamie in a heartbeat. Oh yeah, she will.
Yeah. For sure.
Especially if she feels confident enough that it'll let her save her idol till 5. But
yeah, she's gonna do what she's got to do. I would
play that idol.
I'm gonna be honest. At this point, I would be shocked if Heidi's not sitting in final 3.
Oh, interesting.
Ooh.
I would be shocked.
Well, if she wins immunity next week, then she can keep her idol, play it the next week.
I think that if Heidi can successfully take out one of the Tika 3 and make it into the final 3, that's all she's got to do on her resume, because of how everyone now clearly realizes how much they've dominated the game.
And honestly, she doesn't have to win the final challenge. She just needs to be taken, because she can beat out whoever the final 3 winner is afraid of getting it. Because like she just has to look at the fire and it goes.
Yeah.
What if final fire was between her and Jam Jam? Now that would be exciting.
It would be a rematch.
The set might burn down.
Tonight. It would be a rematch of water.
Oh, there you go. Fire and water.
It'd be perfect for all this Dungeon and Dragon thing we've got going on.
Yes, it would be. Just so you know, as far as who's left and what we have put them for, Jamie and I had Carolyn pre-merge. Jack had her merge. So if Jack will automatically get.
I've been a believer from the beginning.
She goes out. Jam Jam, I had final 3. You both had merge. So 2 of you, if he goes out next week, 2 of you stand for points. Lauren, I had merge. You guys had pre-merge. Heidi, I had pre-merge. Jack had her final 3. And Jamie had her merge, so that's a little bit of a discrepancy there in points.
I could be rolling in points.
You could be rolling in points. And then as far as Jamie goes, Jamie Jo had Jamie Lynn as pre-merge, and we had her as merge. So that is where we stand for that, for those of us that are trying to do math to win this thing at home.
The update on the math is there's no way I'm winning.
Oh,
that's all I know.
You have an extra half point that the rest of us don't.
It's that half point, man. We're holding
that half
tight.
Point could do it. All right.
Jam.
On that note, everybody, thank you so much for listening. Thank you to everybody for joining us. We had a very active chat tonight. Thank you. If you'd like to, we are live 15 to 20 minutes after the episode ends each week, which is actually only for next week. Because the finale runs late. Because the finale is going to be late. We will talk about the finale on Thursday, May 25th. So hopefully everybody will be able to join us on that Thursday. We can have a lively chat again. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. If you have any feedback, because you can't make it, survivorjjc@gmail.com is that. Janet says, "Happy Mother's Day to me and Jamie." Hey, happy Mother's
you.
Day. Forgot that was this weekend. Thanks. Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there.
And you too, Jack.
I wasn't even going to read that part. Hey, this was Teacher Appreciation Week, including daycare professionals. So did any of your daycare students for Papa's Daycare give you anything to show their appreciation?
No.
Well, there's always next year.
Nope, nothing.
You and Rodney Dangerfield, Jack.
Exactly. Get no respect.
All right. Yeah.
Wait, maybe Danny can do them. I get no respect.
Enough.
I've done my one impression. I'm retiring it. Unlike Danny, I know when to end it. All right, like this show, which is going to end right now. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you. On that note, my name is Colleen.
Jamie.
Jack.
Peace out, everybody.